When I was 18, my family couldn't even be bothered to pick me up from the airport after my first semester at college. I called 12 times, no answer. When my sister finally picked up, she said, "We're busy celebrating our brother. He actually did something with his life." An hour later, my mom texted, "You want attention? Try not being a disappointment, I see." That alone on the curb looked at my phone and said, "Got it. I'm done being your afterthought." 4 years later, I executed a plan that changed everything. Yesterday, my dad sent 37 messages. "Please, we were wrong, come back." Alright, so IDK, if this is more of a vent or just something I gotta get off my chest. But I never really talked about this whole thing outside my group chat, and most of my friends just roll their eyes at family drama because everyone says theirs is the worst. But this just keeps bouncing around my head, especially since my dad blew up my phone last night. Literally 37 messages I counted begging me to come home. Not happening, lol. So anyway, rewind to when I was 18. Mean just finished my first semester at college, feeling like maybe things were going to actually start going up from I wasn't some straight up prodigy or whatever. I just actually made it out, got a little scholarship, nothing huge. But it felt like IDK, a start. I was hyped to come home, not gonna lie. I even bought some dumb airport snacks on the way back, thinking my mom might act really want to hear about my finals or whatever. Flight lands at like 3 p.m. and I walk out past security, do the usual look around for your person thing. But it's just a crowd of randoms, parents, couples, whatever, people with those signs. I stand there for a bit, phone in my hand, try not to look like a lost kid. But after like 15 minutes, I'm still just standing there. No tax, no missed calls. I open the group chat, nothing. Check my phone battery, still good. So I start calling. One call, no answer to 3. By the time I hit 6, I'm literally just passing by the rental car shuttle with my bag, digging into. Most people keep walking by, giving me that look like they're trying to figure out if I'm waiting for someone or just got ditched. I try my sister Sabrina, she's usually glued to her phone for TikTok or whatever, nothing. Try my dad Sergio, just straight to voicemail. I hear this little girl next to me say to her mom, "Why is that guy just standing there?" Kind of one of the sidewalk to swallow me at that point. But whatever, I keep calling. I'm up to 12 attempts, and I'm now sitting on the curb outside scrolling Insta just to look busy. He like I meant to be their group of college kids walks by laughing, and I feel like the world's biggest idiot. I even texted Wade, my older brother, not that he ever answers me unless you need something. Finally, like an hour after I landed, Sabrina actually picks up. I just say, "Hey, where are you guys? I'm outside." She sounds annoyed like I'm interrupting. She just goes, "Can't you? Bro, we're kind of busy right now." I ask, "Busy with what?" And she goes, "We're celebrating Wade. He actually did something with his life. Then hangs up. I sit there for a minute just holding my phone. I get this text from my mom, Maryland. She literally writes, "You want attention? Try not being a disappointment." She sends it with a thumbs up emoji. I'm not kidding. I stared at that for a while, just thinking like, is this a joke? Is this really happening? I was just out here with my duffel bag freezing, watching all these other families hugging it out, loading kids into cars, people having those dumb little fights about where to eat. I sat there until the sun started going down, trying to decide if I was overreacting or if this was like their last straw. So background for anyone wondering, this isn't a one-off. Wade's always been the golden boy. He's older by 2 years, played soccer, got that handshake down from dad thing, always brought home trophies. My parents always compare us, not even subtle about it. Wade's ambitious. Wade's leader. Wade's doing real estate. I'm the smart one, but lazy occur. Adding to my dad whenever I did anything good was like, well, imagine what Wade would have done. I was always the potential kid, never the one who actually arrived. And like, I'm not a saint or anything. I know I can be a pain, but I actually tried. This year I helped Sabrina with her application, fix the Wi-Fi. When dad broke it, did all the little stuff nobody wanted to bother with. They just don't care. If you're not Wade, you're just background noise. Even when I got into college, my parents barely said congrats. But when Wade got his big boy job, which is just sales at some random place to be age, they literally threw a party for I wasn't even invited. Found out on Snapchat, so sitting at the airport, I finally just gave up and ordered in Uber. Cost me $40 I didn't have. But I wasn't gonna wait for someone to notice me the whole ride home. I just kept thinking about that text from my mom. Wasn't even mad, just done. I get to the house, lights are on, I can see through the window. There's a whole party going on Wade's there, his friends, my parents laughing, music playing. I dragged my bag up the steps. Ring the bell because I don't have my key anymore. Long story, Dad said I lost it too many times. But whatever, my dad opens the door, looks at me, kind of smirks, and goes, well, look who finally showed up. No hug, nothing. I walk in, everyone barely glances at me. Sabrina just rolls her eyes. I go to put my bag in my room, and Wade's blocking the hallway, talking loud about his big deal. I try to squeeze past, and he shoulder checks me, not even subtle. I tell him to move, he just grins and says, can't you see we're busy? I just push past him harder than I mean to, and he shoves me back. Bag falls, my stuff spills out. I pick it up, nobody helps, not even Sabrina. I hear my mom call from the kitchen, can someone get the play? But she's not talking to me, she's talking to Wade's girlfriend. I shoved my bag in my room and slammed the door. Nobody comes to check, not even after I kick the wall out of frustration. I just sit there for a while, scrolling through old messages, seeing all the times I tried to reach out, ask for rides, tell them about my grades, always left on read, always too busy. Later I come out to get water, and the party's winding down. My dad is half watching a game, Wade's scrolling his phone, my mom's cleaning up. I ask if there's any food left, and my mom just shrugs, says should have gotten here earlier. I just laugh like whatever. I go to the fridge, there's nothing, just some old takeout. I sit at the table and my dad goes, not have. One gets a parade for showing up. Lorenzo, maybe next time you'll give us a reason to celebrate. I just lost it. I got up, knocked my chair back, told him I'm sick of being treated like I don't matter, that if Wade's so perfect, he can be their only kid. My dad stands up, gets in my face, says, if I don't like it, I can leave. I told him maybe I will. He says, go ahead, see how far you get without us. I grabbed my bag, yank open the door, and just walk out. I didn't even slam at that time, just left it swinging. I went to a friend's place that night, crashed on his couch. He didn't really get it, just said family's tough, man. I just nodded, but I decided right then that's it, I'm done being their backup plan, their free tech support, their emotional punching bag. That if they want to act like I'm invisible, fine. But I'm not sticking around to be their afterthought. Any IDK, what's supposed to happen next? But that was the last time I tried to earn my spot in this family. Next part, I'll tell you what I did when they finally noticed I was gone, and trust me, it wasn't just ghosting. They don't even know what's coming up day one, alright. So here's where things start just being sad and start getting kinda real. I left off after that airport mess. Right after that, nothing really changed immediately. If anything, it just got weirder at home. Honestly, it was the little things that kept piling up, not just one big moment. It was like every week they found a new way to remind me I was basically just the spare. So yeah, I did go back to school after winter break by. But when I came home that summer, it was the same thing. I'd come in late from the bus, and my mom wouldn't even look up from her phone. Sabrina would ask me to fix her laptop or set up her new phone. She always gets the newest Wade too. I'm rocking the same thing since senior year. But if I say I'm busy, she just rolls her eyes and calls me selfish, like I'm literally in the middle of studying for finals, and she's mad. I won't drop everything to fix or TikTok notifications. I told her if she keeps slamming my door when she's mad, she can figure out her own tech. She slammed it anyway. One night I get home late from a friend's place and Wade's sitting in the kitchen with my dad talking big about this new thing he's doing. I grab water and try to dip, but my dad actually stops me and says you should take notes from your brother. He is actually doing something with his life, like in front of Wade, just like that. Wade just shrugs like it's nothing. I tell them I got a scholarship for next year, figured maybe they'd care since it saves the money. But my dad just says scholarships or for people who can't get real opportunities. Wade laughs. I just leave the room. So whatever, I start spending less and less time at home. I'm not even angry at this point, just tired. I get a part-time gig off campus and just stay at friends' places as much as possible. I start doing my own thing, but the family keeps pulling me back in when they want something fixed, or when Sabrina needs help with her essays, or when the Wi-Fi dies and everyone freaks out. I go home, fix the router, leave again. They barely say thanks, if at all. At some point my mom starts making weird comments about money, like we're not made of it, and you're not the only one who needs help. I overhear her complaining to my dad about how expensive Sabrina is activities, and then she says maybe we can use what's left and Lorenzo's college fund. But I'm not even supposed to know about this, but I catch the tail end of their combo one night when I come in for water. I stand in the hallway just listening, and my dad saying he's barely using it anyway, might as well go to someone who makes something of themselves. I'm just standing there awkwardly kind of wanting to burst in. But at the same time, what's the point? They always do this. Sabrina is not stupid. She knows she can get away with murder because she's the only girl, and the youngest. He starts taking my stuff without asking, then acts like it's no big deal. I tell her to stop. She just shrugs and says it's not like you ever use it. I take my stuff back. She slaps my arm. I push her away. She yells for mom. And my mom just says boys shouldn't pick on girls. I leave the house with all this time. Wade's just doing his thing, acting like he's the man of the house. My parents eat it up. He doesn't even help out. He just tells everyone else what to do. His car breaks down. My dad makes a big scene about how responsible Wade is for handling. But I'm the one who has to drive him to pick up the part. I say no. My dad gets in my face, says, "This is what family does." I say, "Maybe you should." Sabrina. He pushes me. I shove him back. He slaps the wall right next to my head. And this off, I just leave again. So yeah, I start writing down every single thing I do, every time I fix something, every time I help Sabrina with school, every time I cover a bill because someone forgot. It goes in my notes. I don't even know why I started doing it. Just felt like I needed proof. I wasn't as useless as they kept saying. I save receipts too in case they ever say I didn't pay for anything. I guess I'm getting petty, but I'm so tired of everyone acting like I'm just leeching off them. The real tipping point was graduation. I wasn't even going to walk, but my friends hyped me up, and I figured whatever, I'll do it for the pics. I tell my family the date, the time, everything. I even text the group chat the week of just so they have no excuse. Day of, I'm waiting outside after and not a single one of them shows. I call Sabrina. Nothing. I text my mom. She says sorry, Wade needed the car for something important. I ask what could be more important than my graduation. She says you're not the only one with a future in this family. I hang up. I go back to my apartment and just sit there. I look at my notes at all the stuff I've done for thee, and I just sighed. I'm done being their backup plan. I pull up my bank app and realize I've been covering random bills for months. Spot if I phone plans, even some delivery charges that aren't mine. I tell my roommate what's going on. He just says, bro, you gotta start charging them for the stuff. I laugh. But then I actually do it. I text the family group chat and say from now on I'm charging for my time. Nobody replies except Sabrina. She says you're so dramatic, nobody cares. So I stop helping wife. I goes out. I don't answer. Sabrina laptop breaks. I just say okay, maybe Wade can fix it. My mom's Facebook gets hacked. I just shrug. I hear them complaining about me to relatives, saying I'm like lazy and ungrateful. My aunt texts me, says your mom is really stressed. Maybe you could help out more. I tell her what's actually happening, sent her screenshots of me paying the bills, helping Sabrina, all of it. She just replies with a thumbs up. I guess nobody really wants to get involved at home. The tension is ridiculous. Nobody talks to me unless they want something. One night, wage rise to take my car without asking. I catch him in the driveway. I tell him no. He says you owe me for everything I've done free. I say like what? He just gets mad, throws my keys at me, and walks off. Next day, my dad tries to ground me. I tell him I'm 20 now, and he can't do anything. He tells me to get out if I don't like it, so I do. I pack a bag and leap, slam the door on my way out. So now I'm basically couch shopping, staying with friends, saving every cent. I stop going home except to grab my mail. Every time I do, Sabrina tries to guilt trip me, says you're tearing the family apart. I just tell her maybe try fixing your own problems for once. She slams her door. Again, my mom calls, says you're being selfish, you'll regret this when you're older. I just hang up. Meanwhile, I hear from my cousin that my parents are using my college fund to help Wade with the down payment. I show up at the house, confront my dad. He just says, we make the decisions in this family, not you. I shove his arm away. When he tries to pat me on the shoulder, he pushes me back. I stand my ground. My mom yells at me to calm down, says I'm being ungrateful. I just laugh and walk out. I start telling everyone who will listen what's really going on. I send my notes, receipts, all of it to my other relatives. Not that it changes anything, but at least I know I'm not imagining my parents start getting calls from family members asking what's going on. My mom tells them I'm going through a phase, whatever. By the end of that year, I've got my own place, tiny, but mine. And I tell my family I'm not doing anything for them anymore. No tech help, no rides, no money. If they want something, they can figure it out. Wage rise to call me one night, says he needs help with something important. I just let it go to voicemail. Sabrina texts me, says, I really need you. I just reply, sorry, busy. I guess you could say that was when I ice. Stopped being their punching bag and started actually fighting back. I'm not gonna lie, it felt good for once. But I wasn't done yet. If they thought I was just going to disappear quietly, they had another thing coming. I started planning how to make it really hurt next part. I'll get into how I actually started turning things around, where it wasn't just about saying no, but making sure they felt what I felt. And yeah, it got ugly. Update to so what really set things off for me wasn't some movie mom. It was just dumb regular stuff that finally clicked. Like one day, I was scrolling the family group chat and Sabrina blowing up everyone's phone about how her laptop won't turn on and she's got a paper due. She starts tagging me over and over, all caps. Fix this, I just mute it. Then my dad chimes in and says, Lorenzo, what's the point of you being in college if you can even help your family? Wage jumps in and says it's not that deep, just Google it. My mom doesn't even get involved, she just texts me. Separately says, can you at least do one thing right this week? IDK. That was just the moment where I went, not. I'm done being their free tech support. I started slow just to see if they'd notice. So first time the wife, I went down at home, I ignored the tax. Then the group chat starts going off. Dad says internet's out, fix it. It's your mess. I didn't reply for 2 days. I show up just to grab some mail and Sabrina sitting on the floor mad as hell, says I missed a deadline because of you. I tell her maybe you should learn how to reset a router. She throws a notebook at me. I dodge. She tries to slap my shoulder, so I block her arm. She storms out, slams the door. My mom comes and says, why can't you just help your sister for once? I say, why can't she do anything herself? They all act like I'm just being difficult, but honestly, that's the first time I felt like I had any say in anything in years. I guess I started liking that feeling. So I keep doing it. Sabrina needs help with her college apps. I just say, you're smart, figure it out. She panics. But I'm not budging. Wage rise to get me to edit his resume for him. I tell him I'm busy, maybe ask dad. He gets mad, says you're just jealous. I'm getting somewhere. I laugh and leave the room. Mom's darts nagging me about chores. I tell her I'm not even living here anymore, get way to do it. She says you're so ungrateful after all we've done free. I say, yeah, like what exactly? The real fun starts when I start documenting everything. Every time I pay a bill, every time I help out, it goes in a spreadsheet. I start saving receipts, screenshots, all of it, not for them, I'm for me. So I have ammo. One day my mom tries to say, you never help out, you're just a drain. I send her a spreadsheet. She leaves me on read. I start talking to my cousin June about all of that. She's one of the only people in the family who actually listen, not just pretends to. She tells me you should let everyone know what's actually going on. I think about it and I start sending my spreadsheet and screenshots to my aunt, my mom's sister, just so someone else sees the facts. My aunt calls my mom, asks what's up with Lorenzo, always paying for stuff. My mom gets pissed at me, says, why are you trying to embarrass us? I say, I'm just setting the record straight. Meanwhile, big news comes in the group chat. Wade gets a new apartment for families, acting like he won the lottery. My parents throw him a party, invite everyone. I'm not on the invite list. I see it on Instagram. Sabrina post pics, captions, it proud of my big bro. I comment thanks for the invite. Wade deletes my comment. I text him. He leaves me on read. At this point, I'm just over it, so I start making things a little more uncomfortable for them. I go into the family group chat and say, from now on, I'm charging for my time. Every time you ask me for tech help, it's $50. Sabrina calls me a jerk. My mom says nobody's gonna pay that, your family. I say, then stop asking. They don't take it seriously at first, but then things start breaking around the house. The TV stops working, the Wi fires out again. My dad can't figure out the printer. Classic Sabrina. Phone won't sync her photos. The fridge is acting up. I just ignore all the calls. Wage rise to fix the TV makes it worse. My mom calls me, says, I'll pay you 20, just fix it. I say it's